This isn't the real size of my bum, just so you know. It's all the microphones. Just wanted to get that out of the way, and also it makes me feel better if you're already laughing. So, here we go. What do youth need to thrive is the question of the day. And I first heard this proposed to me, and then I was invited to speak today following the rest of the wonderful talks here. And at first I thought of so many different things. Sleep. We need sleep, of course. We need food, and probably it would be good if we had parents around, and it would be good if we had all of these things that, oh wait, actually everybody needs those things. I totally forgot. What is it particular about youth, and what is it particular about the word thriving that I wanted to focus on? And I want to let you all know that I do not expect to speak on behalf of other people, but this is definitely coming from my own personal experience, and that's the best way that I can present it. So it turns out humans actually really like to study themselves. And one guy, Abraham Maslow, 70 years ago, help. There we go. He proposed this hierarchy of needs, which you can see here. I drew this picture because it's hard to explain, and maybe it'll be better with a little photo. On the bottom, it's a little blurry, so I'll help you out, is the physiological needs that he argued need to be met in order for a person to set their sights on the next level. He included those things that I already mentioned and that have been mentioned already today. Breathing, water, food, sleep, homeostasis, excretion, etc. It's really uncomfortable if you can't, anyways. Oh geez. Anyways, then the next level is safety, a safety of all different sorts, safety of the body, safety of the mind, etc., followed by love, belonging, friendship, relationships. This is really just tying into what everybody else has been saying, and it really clued in for me this year. This is what everybody needs. At the top, if you can read it, it's self-actualization, which is a big psychology term people use to describe people who are, what I would say, thriving. You can maybe read it at the top. There's morality, creativity, problem-solving abilities, lack of prejudice, etc., And as I said before, this very top section is where I would think that you would find people who are thriving. On another note, I did grow up in Nelson, and as you can see, I'm white. My parents were fairly well off. I had a pretty regular upbringing, going to school and stuff like that. So my talk is generally aimed towards other people that can relate to my situation. This is definitely not a talk for people living in war-torn African countries. It's not going to be any sort of relatability for them. Yeah. So, moving on. I am recently, like they said, I recently graduated and I've been living in Vancouver. And I am a youth, and I like to think of myself as in this great time of energetic forward visioning into the future. And so I have observed my peers, and I've observed people that are becoming youths themselves, and I've observed people and the stories that they tell me about what they were doing when they were my age and when they were around this in-between children and adulthood. And what I realized is that as we grow up, or as we think we grow up, we begin to know things, and we begin to label things, and we start to learn words for things. We know what a rock is, and we know what our mom does for work, and we know these things. And then we grow more, and we know other things. We know that in our house, we're omnivores, or we know that I like to ride my bicycle, and I know that I'm good at soccer, and I know that I don't like cooked mushrooms, etc., etc. We grow more, and then we know more, and we know that we like punk music or jazz music, etc. And we know that we want to be a vegan, and we know that we don't agree with harming animals in any way, shape, or form, and we know these things. And then we go to high school, and we realize that we're good at biology, apparently, because we get good biology marks. And I should probably go to university and study more biology, and maybe I'll just become a biologist. And it's neat because the university I'm going to has a law department, and my boyfriend studies law, so that's great because we're going to be together forever. And we know that right now, right? This is when I come in and say that you could really use a punch in the face. sort of relieved to see that there's no mohawks in the room. This is definitely not anything about people with mohawks. Is just what I wanted to draw. Great. So hopefully you can figure out that I'm speaking metaphorically. I'm not advocating for everyone to leave this room today and go punching all the people that you see that are under 28. That's not going to be a good idea. But there is something particular about this metaphor. I am seriously talking about a punch in the face. It's not a noogie or a wet willy or a wedgie. It's your face, right? This is how you know yourself. This is how you know other people. It's particular to you. It's delicate. It's personal. It's shocking. It's you getting thrown off a bus. It's you totally not understanding where you are or where you're going or anything. This sort of situation can happen without you even realizing it because it's so intense. We need this because it provides us with an opportunity to take a step back from where we know everything. If we're over here, we can see ourselves from a third-person perspective, and we can see where we're going, where we come from, all of the things that we bring with us, and that's really, really important. This provides us with an opportunity to test the things that we think we know. Try mushrooms again. Try a different kind of mushrooms. It's great. For me, this swift kick in the pants came about this time last year when I started getting involved in Occupy Vancouver. That's me. I was a newbie to Vancouver. I had just moved there from Germany. I was new to college. I was new to being a teenager. No, I wasn't. That's a lie. I was 19. Anyways, so I was at Vancouver, and I was 3 wool sweaters deep in the first aid tent before I knew it, and I had no idea. All of a sudden, I was attending meetings where people were talking about arrests, and my friends had gotten arrested, and the Vancouver Police Department, and anarchists, and socialists, and communists, and how do you tell the difference between those people anyways? Some wear red, some wear black, I don't know what's going on. Colonization, decolonization, anti-oppression, what's wrong with saying the word dude? There's a lot, apparently. Fire department regulations, harm reduction, homelessness, heroin. What do they do with heroin, and how does it get here, and what do you do with people that want to do it safely? I had no idea. Women's rights, Aboriginal rights, solidarity, patriarchy, etc., 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 and I freaked out because I'm from Nelson. So I learned more. I opened my ears and I used my brain as a sponge to finally try and understand what was going on with me. By the way, just because I said all of those things does not mean I understand them now. I found myself being punched in the face by life, and it was scary. I didn't know what to do. But I realized that this is the perfect time for me to change my habits if I want to. As was mentioned before, you're not years and decades into your adult life where you've been doing things repetitively and your muscle memory takes over. I have so much time, and the opportunity is right now to change if I want. I may have found that I didn't actually care about changing at all, and that's fine as well. For other people, they go through some experience like this and they realize that they're actually completely fine with who they are, and that's great too. But the important thing is that you decide that you're the one that's making these decisions and not the strength of your routines and your patterns. The last part of my argument would be that the youth being punched in the face by life, we need community support in the end. We need to we're going to reevaluate ourselves and everything that we stand for. We're going to rethink pretty much everything, and we need to talk the SHIT out of all of this because it's really, really intense. It's so, so, so uncomfortable, but we need our communities, our mentors, our families, our little sisters to remind us that even though we don't know everything anymore, this is the best time to be who we are. Challenge yourself. Go out. You can't necessarily find this by doing a 30-day yoga challenge. It's not something that you're going to find on the internet of a 10-step challenge to get punched in the face by life. That's not what's going to happen. You have to take risks. Go traveling in India by yourself. Read more books. Move away from your home country. Do things that tear you apart from what you're used to. Because a safe environment is what babies need. Lack of fear is what children need. Your parents are there to tell you that there are no monsters in the closet because that's what you need at that point. My grandparents are looking for a stable home to grow old in. Me, right now, at this stage in my life, what I need is a punch in the face. Thank you very much.